looks good. But I'd like to see it on its way to...
Are they normally out there as long as this?
1 hour is the limit, just as a precaution. Up until recently, we have never had any accidents. So far, their brain activity seems to be normal.
So far. But if there's any variation at all, I'm pulling them out.
Unit 23 reporting. Radiation count, normal. Dr. Russell, Professor Barry. Yes. Commander Koenig's ETA is in 30 minutes at 2335.
Thank you, Paul. I hope he's the right man.
That's the lot, Professor. It all checks out. On final descent, Commander.
It was announced today that the 2 probe astronauts on the Meta mission had contracted a mild viral infection during training. Lunar Commissioner Gerald Simmons has reported, though, that the long-prepared-for space mission to Meta will be delayed for no longer than 48 hours. Commissioner Simmons, can you tell us a little more about Meta?
Yes, I'd be very happy to. Meta is a rogue planet which has broken away from some distant galaxy. However, its trajectory has brought it much closer to our own solar system. The reason why, we don't as yet know. But we have, for the first time, received identifiable signals which indicate a high form of life on another planet. From Earth Space Research Center at Moonbase Alpha, we intend to explore this new planet. And indeed, John Koenig, our first Alpha commander, is already returning to the Moonbase in order to supervise this, the most important space journey in the history of man.
All I want to know is crew accepted, you're ready to go. Yeah.
It's some kind of language. We come close to finding a serial pattern, and then it goes. But it's there somewhere. It's language, I'm sure of it. Meta's trying to make contact with us. Another civilization, possibly. Commander, we've got to get those men out of medical, out there, and find out who or what is on Meta.
Commander Koenig, there's an Earth call for you on the Scrambler. Commissioner Simmons.
Commander? I'm going to recheck that nuclear disposal area myself.
Yes, sir.
I'll need 2 volunteers.
Very good, Commander.
Yes? Commander, I should appreciate a word with you. As we were leaving tomorrow, I thought I would say goodbye. I wish you well here. I am not sure you understand how complex it all is. I'm learning. And it's become even more complex with the deaths of the 2 astronauts. The Commissioner is in a very delicate situation. Whatever solution he offers will have to be quite convincing. It is a question of security, Commander. Should one grain of truth ever be exposed, then Earth Command...
That's my evaluation, Commissioner. Gorski? You said you wanted to talk. So far I haven't heard a thing I don't already know.
Then I shall try to be more informative. For instance, Dr. Russell. She has personal problems, prejudices, which I have found affect her work. Basically, they're emotional problems, anxieties, neuroses.
Is that a judgment or opinion?
I don't like you either, Koenig. But this is something you should know. Dr. Russell was married to someone in the space program, a doctor, a very important man, who was lost on the mission some 5 years ago.
Which means what?
Which means she is too emotionally involved to suit her job. Her idea of security in this viral situation could ruin the entire meta-probe operation. The repercussions on Earth if the news leaked.
And the place for security is back on Earth, Commissioner. Thank you, Gorski. You've been very helpful. Have a good trip back. Forget the probe, Carter. Before we do anything more, I'm going to find out why those two men died.
I have the autopsy reports on the two meta-probe astronauts.
All right.
Similarities to the other cases is undeniable. See, the brain damage was less severe, the survival period longer. Otherwise, they are identical in every way to the other victims.
And shuttle pilots?
The same, no variation at all.
It's strange, Commander Gorski never accepted any of your findings.
Yes, it's made it very difficult.
Was there any friction between you and him of a personal nature?
What has Commander Gorski told you?
And he made second references.
To what? My lack of judgment?
In a sense.
He indicated an interest in me at a certain point. I did not reciprocate. That perhaps was my lack of judgment.
I see. Thank you, Doctor. I'm going to rescind all of Commander Gorski's instructions on the computer.
Thank you.
There's no doubt about it. Planet Meta could be supported.
20-fold increase in the magnetic field.
And that's before it burnt out. We've been obsessed with radiation.
Chandra, I will disposal area 1 continuously monitored.
The new instruments are installed and the heat level is decreasing steadily. Also, everything checks out in area 2.
That's good news.
Oh, John, can we go to your office? I've asked Dr. Russell to join us. It's important.
Oh, would you punch up the differential on that flight pattern? I want to see it up on the board.
Sure.
This instrument's given me a lead. I think we're facing a new effect, arising from the atomic waste deposited here over the years.
My office tried to query you about your emergency code, Alpha 1. You didn't seem to be available.
When this project started, we used uranium-392 as fuel. But in the last 7 years, we've started mixing it with cesium. Uranium was expensive, cesium was cheap. But now, it seems that uranium and cesium are reacting adversely to one another, producing magnetic fields of incredible strength. And that's our problem. Magnetism, causing brain damage.
Atomic radiation causing cancer.
Magnetism is energy, and all energy radiates. I'd be prepared to look at a report on the subject, when it's more comprehensive.
Commissioner, unless we come up with some answers damn soon, the 4th of July is going to seem like a very quiet day in the country. Now, Professor Bergman, Dr. Russell have identified the problem and analyzed its causes. They stay.
Commissioner, the heat is starting to rise on the interior of Area 2 as well. Now, it contains 140 times the amount of waste in Area 1.